Hi, hopefully I can make this quicker than I did the first time. This is not a dream or a vision or anything like that, although he gave me a couple of words, the Holy Spirit, in the last few days. But before that, let me just recap on some of the news that has been in the media and such. Okay, back in September, at the end of September 2013, when I made the videos about the large California quake coming, and it wasn't the 6.0 in Northern California, it's something bigger. I didn't research. I had barely even been on YouTube ever before I made those videos. So now I've been on YouTube a year, and I thank you for all those who subscribe to me and pray for me and pray for all the other Christians out there and that are serving the Lord. And anyways, I started researching and trying to find other Christians that have had visions or prophecies or dreams about the California quake. And then I came across these guys, of course, Rick Joyner, and he has another guy with him. I think it's Bob Jones here, that had visions of the huge California quake coming back in the 70s and 80s. Okay, and then Paul Keith Davis is here. But I watched this video. This was made in May 28, 2013. So before I made the October video. Or September videos, but I hadn't seen this yet. But it's very interesting and it's long, so I'll leave a link for it. They're both talking about the California quake, and then they talk about this huge super pod of dolphins that had come. I try to move this box. Dolphin superpod 5 miles wide, 7 miles long, that came through in February 2013. And so it was estimated to be about 100,000 dolphins that were swimming past Southern California. And so here's a short clip, and you can see just a little piece, you know, of the 7 mile long pod. Just went on and on and on like that for miles and miles. And so this was off of Southern California back in February 2013. Okay, and then this guy has a video about it as well, so I'll leave a link in the text box. Okay, and then here in January 2014, scientists have cameras installed on some robotic tunas, turtles, and squids, so they can capture some footage of dolphins to make a documentary. And so in January, just like 9 months ago, they, off the coast of Costa Rica, they caught some incredible footage. And so perhaps that's where all the dolphins went. So they're down by South America. And then the Lord brought to my mind, he reminded me of last year after I had made the video about the earthquake warning. A few weeks after the video, there were two oarfish. This one was the 14-foot one that washed up by Oceanside, California on October 18th. And then there was another one, an 18-foot one by Catalina Island 5 days earlier, so on October 13th. So these two oarfish washed up and they beached themselves, and they usually live thousands of miles below the surface. They're the largest bony fish, and they live at deep depths, and so it's very rare for them to come up and beach themselves. But this happened in October last October. And what's interesting about that is that I don't think I have the link for that. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. If you look up news about the Japanese quake, I think I lost my link here, but as you're aware of, if you do a search for Japan quake Oarfish, about a year exactly before their 9.0 quake that caused the March 2011 tsunami, they had about a dozen oarfish beach themselves, and it's always like they're like supposedly harbingers of large quakes to come, and it happens months or a year in advance. And so, like these news articles say, sorry, these happened in October 2013, which is a year now. And so the Lord brought these oarfish to my memory like in the last week. I just had a thought, remember the oarfish. And so this guy, this was October 2013, video of the 18-feet sea serpent, also known as, they're called oarfish. I didn't see this. Oh, he discovered it. Here's a picture of it. Okay, so that was last October, and then so it's been a year that those have appeared. Also, what's really bizarre, as this says, bizarre deep sea oarfish are filmed off Baja, California. These appeared in April, so just 6 months ago. I'm going to go back here.
So are they trying to permanently beach themselves?
Get some cooler pictures here. I like the underwater photos. Pretty awesome creatures. Okay, so these two, there were two that they videotaped here. These, you can see the water is very shallow, standing water, and they were off Baja, California in April, and unfortunately they both ended up beaching themselves. It says they swam around for 20-30 minutes. They just kept trying to beach themselves. They did flop up on the beach, and after that, it didn't take long for them to expire. Okay, so these oarfish beached themselves in April, so 6 months ago. So we have like a total of 4 in Southern California and North Mexico. And then the Lord told me this morning to check out the news for the coast of California. So I did a search for coast of California news, and I saw this article, more than 50 sperm whales spotted off California, and this was from yesterday. So it's highly unusual for sperm whales, who are usually very deep sea creatures. We have blue whales, or gray whales rather, and sometimes killer whales, and dolphins that swim close to shore within, a couple miles where the boats can go whale watching and such. But sperm whales are usually deep water, and but these were right there next to the little personal boats and such, and there was 50 of them, and so that is highly unusual for these guys to be that close. And it shows a sperm whale breaching in the waters off Newport Beach, California. Several pods of sperm whales emerged off the southern California coast in an extremely rare hours-long sighting that had whale watchers and scientists giddy with excitement. More than 50 mothers and juveniles were rolling and playing with dolphins. So usually their pods only consist of like up to 20 mothers and juveniles, but this was 50, and they were swimming. It says they were spread out over 3 miles and came within inches of boats as they poked their heads out of the waves. And let's see, they were concluding maybe because the water is warmer, or they're chasing their food, or they're confused, or whatever. Usually only 1 or 2 adult males show up each summer or fall, while large groups of females normally are found in warmer waters. And they were traveling south. It says up here they were heading south. They later were spotted off San Diego and were heading south. Okay, so they first saw them by Newport Beach, and then later they spotted them by San Diego, and they were still heading south as of yesterday. And so I thought that was sort of coincidental there. And then I read about their migration, the sperm whale facts, and down here, if you look at social structure, there's usually only 10 to 20 females in a group or a pod. And anyways, and then this article, I looked up whales and earthquakes, and then so this article sort of talks about how whales can become confused or disoriented or beach themselves within a week or two of large quakes. The Japanese 2011 March quake and tsunami, March 6th, a week earlier, 50 whales beached themselves, and 22 of them were refloated and saved. And then February 22nd, 2011, the New Zealand quake happened on February 22nd, but 2 weeks earlier, on February 4th, 2011, 82 pilot whales beached at the northern tip of the South Island, and a few days earlier, at the end of January, 24 died after stranding in the North Island. So this guy, Dr. Arukulam Kumar, an anatomy professor, suggests that in 2004 he came up with the theory that massive stranding of whales might be a warning of a major earthquake within a week or two. 3 weeks later, the earthquake that triggered the Boxing Day tsunami occurred. So, and then he also, because the pilot whales that were beached in New Zealand, he estimated that at the end of August or early September there would be a massive quake or a volcano eruption, and sure enough, August 29th, a volcano in Sumatra that was dormant for years erupted, and then a few days later, on September 4th, the 7.1 quake hit New Zealand. So just rather interesting. We have this bizarre, the bizarre, the Lord told me to look at the Coast news, and I found this, and it was just yesterday, so I thought that was really, sort of, enlightening. The Lord was good, but it was just, this was a really bizarre happening, and they don't know why, but they're heading south, away from Southern California, and, these oarfish in, Baja California were beached in April, and then we had the ones that were beached in October, 2 of them in Southern California. And then, but over a year ago, we had the super pod of dolphins leaving the area as well. So just something to pray about. I know the Lord told me to go look at the news articles for the coast this morning and gave me that thought. And so just keep praying for California and those whom He chooses to protect, and for the whole situation. God bless.